Hi, folks. So there is this kid in the South African Parliament, the National Assembly, named Liam Jacobs. He's the member of the Democratic Alliance. I've just come to know about him because he has been on the forefront of a lot of these parliamentary portfolio committee meetings where they are holding accountable several leaders of organizations with regards to financial mismanagement, unfruitful expenditure, corruption, and things like that. And he is really blowing up and getting a lot of traction, and people are making all kinds of positive statements about this kid. Oh, that he should be president, or things like that. And I find this particularly very concerning. I'm gonna say why. My thoughts are that, firstly, big ups to him for asking tough questions to some people who are leading state-run institutions, parastatals at home, and asking difficult questions, doing the job of oversight, which is very important, which has not been done properly in the past because the parliament was just rubber stamping what the ANC was doing. But I don't find that as being a sufficient thing to say that someone should be the president of South Africa. I do find that South Africans are you are easily, you're easily satisfied. You are easily impressed. And the barrier of entry is so low to impress you that it seems to me that it's one of the reasons why people leave the country. Because the level of thinking in the electorate is so low that people have to think that, listen, our problem is not the ANC. Our problem is the electorate that just really refuses to reason properly about what is needed. Let's talk about this kid, Liam Jacobs. He's 24 years old. He has no work experience at all. So, which means that he has no accomplishments. He has not done anything in his life. As far as we know, the only thing that we know about him is that he was a student organization leader of the Democratic Alliance in a university that he was in, which I'm not sure which university that was. And that's it. And it can hardly be the qualification for someone to say that this person should be the president of South Africa, or that this is a leader that we should look to. The question for me is that what have you done in your life? Show me instances where you've done something. You've brought value for shareholders. You've brought value in your community. Or show me instances of something that you've tried. You've tried, failed, or tried and succeeded. You have no track record for anything. You have not done anything. You have not tried anything. You have not failed at anything. You have not succeeded at anything. You have no experience of working in the private sector, having a job, waking up and having to be at the office even at 7 or 9 or 8 or 9, and having to work until 5 or 4 or 6 constantly, having to produce results constantly every day, day after day. We have no experience, none of that. The only thing that we know you for is that you've asked some leaders of parastatals some tough questions. South Africans, my brothers and sisters, how can this be? How can the bar be so low? How can it be so low? Doesn't someone who you are putting forward saying, or you should be president should be someone who has done something in his life, succeeded in something, failed in something. Let me tell you something about my own personal life. I have failed a lot in life because I have tried a lot. And I've tried various things and various ventures and projects. And I failed several times. I failed at university. I cried. I failed. I have failures at work. I've had many failures in life. I've also had some very great successes. The reason why I'm using this example of myself is that you need to, being president or being in the executive in government can't be your first job, guys. Come on. It can't be your first real job. Because being a member of parliament is not a real job. You are just paid to talk and to be a critic. And even if you say, okay, there are legislators, okay, give me one piece of legislation that he has sponsored or co-sponsored that has changed people's lives. Just one legislation. I'll wait. Put it to me in the comments below. Folks, this is why people leave the country. Because all of you are so easily impressed by bullshit. You are so easily impressed by the most pointing two fingers at someone can hardly be the qualifying thing that qualifies you to lead the nation. Everyone has criticism of everyone. I criticize the NC here all the time. I criticize the government here all the time. There can hardly be the one thing that qualifies me to be president. Here's the thing also. None of these people who are pushing this kid he was at the University of Pretoria, that he should be the president. What do they know about his economic policies? What is his industrial policy? What is his fiscal policy? What is his policy? What is his view on agriculture? What is his view on industrialization? What is his position on foreign affairs? What is his view on the issues of labor and unemployment? What are his views on manufacturing and bringing back manufacturing into South Africa? What are his policy positions on the open border in South Africa? What are his views on the energy situation in South Africa, both in terms of electricity and also in just the overall energy situation in South Africa, including cars and like industrial energy situation, all of those things. Where does it stand on those things? None of these people know anything about any of that. But they are pushing this kid as this because he gave the president of SAFA difficult questions, or he gave the CEO of Athletics South Africa some tough questions, or some Department of Education person. Any one of us can be a good critic. If being a good critic qualifies us to be president, I would have been president of South Africa a long time ago. Because no one has been critical of this government. Okay, maybe not no one, but I've been very critical. And I know a lot of people, and back home, I know people who just live to criticize other people. But how is that the criteria that qualifies you to run government? Is there nothing else that is needed? It's the same situation as when people look at Vusi Tembegwayo, who I have no problems with, by the way. I know there's a lot of hate that get directed to that guy for whatever reason. I have no issues with the guy. I'm not necessarily a fan or a follower particularly, but I don't have any problems with him. People listen to him and then they hear this big English and then they say, hey, you should be president. It was a similar situation a few years ago with the then Chief Justice of South Africa of Mogoeng, because people saw him as this ethical leader, and then they thought that yeah, you should be president. And then for me, my question is that it? Is the bar that low? All you have to do is that we just need to know that you're not going to steal from us. If we know that you're not going to steal from us, that qualifies you to be president. Is that the summation of the job title, job requirements of being a president, that you are not going to steal? Is there nothing else? So if you are not stealing from us, what are you going to do with the 40% unemployment rate? What are you going to do about the energy situation? What are you going to do to save the dying and flailing steel and aluminium industry that is being killed by cheap Chinese imports? What are you going to do to resuscitate the now dead manufacturing sector in South Africa? And none of those people that these people were pushing forward that, Fusi Kwayo should be president, had even heard a single line item from any of these people in terms of where they stand on these issues. What are their policy objectives? Where in South Africa, you just need to show that, yeah, you're definitely not corrupt, you're definitely not going to steal from us, or you just need to show us that you know you have good English. We just have this good feeling about you. This is Barack Obama all over again. But I mean, I suppose some of you think that Barack Obama was a great president, but I mean, suppose, wow. As long as someone is a smooth operator, speaks well, that's my guy. And you know why Donald Trump has been so successful, even with all his issues, which I've dealt with in some of the videos. You know why he's been so successful? It's because he has done shit in his life. He has built a business, he has failed multiple times, and he has rebuilt it. And he has dirt under his fingers. It's not just theory and theoretical. He knows how to build. And because he knows how to build, people looked at that and they were like, we can trust this guy. Even if we don't know everything about what he stands for. Even though Dr. was the most transparent person to say, I stand here on every policy issue, he was very transparent. But because he had dirt under his fingers and had produced results, people were willing to say, you know what, we'll give this guy a chance. And he hasn't disappointed. He's been the most consequential US president ever since Abraham Lincoln. I don't care who says what. The things that he has done for the American people are mind-blowing. And these things would not be done with eloquent English like Barack Obama, but eloquent and meaningless hope. Yes, we can. Yeah, he had 8 years, and yes, we can. What did he do? Dare to dream and all that catchy liners. Yeah, dare to dream and getting people to cry and weep and all that bullshit. But what did he do for 8 years? So I'm just saying that people are so easily satisfied. Like it's what do you think? You agree with me? Disagree? Comments below. Yeah? See you on the next one, folks. Cheers.